Hi guys, welcome. My name is Veronica and my other half's name is Jeremy, and we are the owners and artists of Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. You can find us on YouTube as well as Facebook as Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. Together we create content to explain how to DIY old furniture and thrifted finds. And tonight we're going to talk about how to make appliques out of paper, clay, and molds. So I have a couple of different types of molds. I have molds that are from Redesign with Prima, as well as molds that are from Iron Orchid Designs. And we love both of the molds for different reasons. They're very similar and they both do the job well. So tonight we're going to just jump right into it, and I'll start off by saying welcome. Welcome. It looks like I have 3 folks watching. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to just, I have figured out how to put comments right up there. So I do believe when you guys comment, it'll just pop up right there. So I'm kind of going to delve into the project, and I will pop up from time to time to read the comments. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. So with that said, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Hey, how's it going, Bree? You are so kind to continue to watch. Thank you so much. All right, there we go, I think. Okay, so when you work with air dry clay, you got to ensure to put a little bit of cornstarch and or baking soda, whatever you have, and I like to use cornstarch in your mold so that it doesn't stick. And so we're just going to start off by doing that. So here I go, adding a little bit of cornstarch in my mold. And tonight I'm going to be using this Sculpey air dry clay. It was $6.99 at Walmart, and it's the first time I used it this evening. I typically make my own, but I'm out. So I thought I would give this a whirl, and it works really, really well. So when you're using this clay, you need to make sure that you have it in an airtight container at all times, even in between use, so that it doesn't dry out, because it does just what it says. It's air dry clay. The glory of it is you don't have to use a kiln or oven. It simply dries with the air. Alrighty, we're going to jump right into this. So it depends on what type of perfectionist you are. If you are a perfectionist, I feel like making these molds takes just a little bit of time, because you got to work it in all the crevices, and if you leave any hanging over the edges at all, then it just creates more work in the end, because you got to, fiddle with them to get them just perfect. And so I tend to fiddle with them when they're in the mold to try and make it as crisp of a line around all the edges as possible. Oh, I'm not sure if my message is the color Caboose. Oh, thank you, Bree. I'm working on it. This going live every evening is definitely teaching me some stuff. And oh, here I go shouting again. And so I'm trying to learn by my mistakes. And so I appreciate that feedback. At any time, you guys, if you think I could do something better, please let me know. This stuff is super, super creamy, and it really, I mean, for the price, for like $6.99, that's a really good deal at Walmart. I bought 3 packs, and I feel like I may go back tomorrow and get more, just because all the others are at least like $10 a pack ish. And so it's a really, really good deal. And the open time is actually pretty good, because it just is. I've actually already made a handful. Hey there, sweetheart. My Mr. Jeremy is popping on tonight, and I finally caught his hello. So nice. He's up in the wilderness, kind of, right now. I don't know if you guys know Northern California at all, but there's a great big huge mountain called Mount Shasta. It's a really popular mountain for skiing. Golly, I think it's about 7,000 feet in elevation. Don't quote me, but that's kind of what I recall. And he's he works on the fires, and so he's up there camping right now, spiked out up in the. I don't think it's the wilderness, actually. I don't even know if Mount Shasta is a wilderness. Is it the wilderness, sweetheart? Oh, and my daddy's watching. How's it going, Papa? We're gonna come see you guys next week, and I do believe that's the plan if we're not gone. I hope that we're not. I'm feeling that Jeremy might be, but we'll see. So we are making molds tonight if you guys just popped on. And the reason we're making molds is because my friend, Miss Melanie, the colored caboose, um, actually did this first, and I got the idea from her. You take a square mirror, so a pretty boring mirror, and the actual mirror part is square, and then you add appliques onto the glass part, and then you create the illusion of like a really ornate, fancy, old-fashioned mirror with paper clay. And so that's what I'm shooting for. I've already made a handful of them and I have not glued them down. I've been waiting for you guys. So, I try to do a couple at a time. And the reason that I do that on this, I'll show you. Whoops, look at that. I almost fumbled that one up. So that's why it really, really pays off to take your time and just go around all the edges to make it nice and perfect. So when I'm working on a mold that has mirroring molds, which means they're exactly the same but flipped, so that you can create like a circle or whatever you want. I always do at the same time. That way I don't accidentally do the same one over because I know myself. Okay, so after you get it like that, you just go ahead, and I tend to really push down hard so that it releases. And then I take my brush because I don't like to smush it around it all, and I just gently kind of pull it off if it's sticking at all. And what I found is typically where it sticks is in areas in which you have like a big surface area where there's no detail. Those are the areas where I like to put a little extra cornstarch because those are the areas that tend to stick for me. I have Elisa Horn on here. Hi from Idaho. Welcome. You've been to Mount Shasta in Westwood. Your brother used to live there. Sweet. Yeah, you know how beautiful Mount Shasta is then. It's actually a volcano, and it hasn't erupted in a very long time. Everyone tends to think that it's going to happen in our decade here, this decade, but who knows? So right now, my other half, Jeremy, is currently at the where the tree line starts from the base of the mountain, and it starts turning into a rock, the rocky area. That's where their base camp is. And so he's on a wildlife use module, which basically means they monitor fire behavior in areas in which there is no human threat as far as structures and life. And they monitor the fire so that it actually is doing good for the environment. It's actually burning like either in a mosaic and low rate of spread and low heat intensity. And so they are actually using the fire that started whatever reason. Actually, those type of crews are used, I believe, on wildland fires where they're not human caused. That's one of the criteria, I believe, that type of fire where they're just monitoring it is one of the criteria. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I recall. Anyway, he's been home for 5 days in the last 3 months. So Mount Shasta is 14,000 feet, not 7. I was a little off. And you're spiked out at Mount Shasta. Yep, I guess it is wilderness. Yep, my little sweetheart said it is a wilderness. Shows you how much I know. Thanks for that, sweetheart. And so I can't wait for him to come home. However, we just had a lightning storm that came through here yesterday, and actually for the last few days we've been having storms on and off. And so he had called me today and said that there was like, oh golly, did he say 7 or 17 new starts with lightning around here? And hopefully the state and the feds catch it, because last year there was some catastrophic fires in our area and actually burnt hundreds of homes in the area downriver from us and up in Ashland as well. Anywho, enough about that. I really thank you guys for all. Hey, Mrs. Autumn. How's it going? I thank you for saying hi. Aw, you guys are so kind to continue to watch. So the reason I'm making the same mold again, which I guess I should have thought about it instead of blabbing around because you guys might be bored of the same one, is I really like this pattern. I'm trying to create not a complete circle. I don't really know 100%. I'm kind of just going to let the mold speak to me. I'm just going to set them on the glass and move them around live, I guess, and we'll figure out how we want to lay it. It typically takes about, oh, I don't know, I want to say, you know, to be safe, to let these dry. If you want to let them dry before you paint them, I would just leave them overnight before I painted them. And the reason that I like to do that is because I don't want to disrupt any of the detail in my molds. Now, that's not to say that I haven't ever painted them when they're wet, because you can actually paint them when they're wet, and so that's super cool. And a lot of people do, but I am not going to in this instance. I'm going to let it dry completely. So tonight we're just going to make a couple more of these. This will probably be the last one because I think you guys will get the idea after this. And then I'll just start gluing some down on the mirror so we can kind of get an idea of what it's going to turn out like. That's the plan for tonight. I really thank you guys for jumping on. You know, what I've been doing throughout the days is trying to brainstorm on topics to talk about while I'm doing these lives. So if anyone can throw out a few ideas of things that they might want to watch, just let me know. That way we can talk. Today is Saturday, so tomorrow I'm going to be going live by myself. And then Monday, I'll be going live with my friend, Miss Melanie from the Colored Caboose. So we have a really fun project to work on Monday. Really excited about that. And then on Tuesday, we'll be going live with Miss Autumn. This is so much fun. What an exciting challenge, Miss Melanie. We bought a new laptop today. I hope that the sound is a little bit better today. I've been working on improving that, and what I would like to do is go live on my laptop and just plug it into the internet so that as I watch these back in the evenings, I critique them and find things that I want to improve. That's not to say that I'm going to know how to improve them, but I've been trying to figure it out. And one thing that I think would help the blurriness and the cutting in and out and such would be sticking it right into the internet. And so that's why I got a new laptop, because our other laptop kind of took a dive this last week, and that's a bummer dealio. But we got a new one today, and we're going to try that out, I think, tomorrow, going live with the laptop, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, golly, this stuff, I am super impressed with this Sculpey air dry clay. Again, I got it at Walmart. It was like not even quite $7, and it looks like it's 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Good deal. Good deal. So I have tons of molds, and I guess my overall objective was to get the real curvy, beautiful ones. I did a couple of those. I did this one, and so yeah. So I don't have them all done. Like I said, it's going to take quite a few, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. So here we go. I'm going to move you guys back over here to this area. Now, don't judge and don't mind the roof as you see the reflection in the mirror. The reflection in the mirror, because we are remodeling an old barn, and we're not quite done with the roof yet. What we're trying to do, since the ceilings are so low, we decided to, I don't know if you could see in the mirror. Here's the mirror, and there's the ceiling, right? And so some of it's drywalled and some of it's not, because I was trying to create height, because my other half is like 6'3", and so I was trying to create a little illusion of height, but we are not done with that. Yeah, that's just it. We're not done with that. Okay, so here's the mirror, and this mirror is kind of special because The house that my children grew up in for a lot of their life burned down last year, and this mirror went to my daughter's bedroom set. And this I had in storage, and so it was actually saved, and so it was actually Miranda's when she was a little girl. But anyway, so it's made out of MDF. It's not like high quality or anything, but I thought we would jazz up the mirror. And so you guys can kind of see how I did the layout up here. I don't, like I said, I don't exactly know what direction I'm going to go, but I kind of really love that European, like swirly, I don't even know how to explain it, look. And so after we get these all created, I just kind of am laying them on there and seeing like what would look good. I don't even know yet. And I don't want to cut in front of the mirror there. So I'm just kind of laying it out and getting a feel for it. I feel like I'm going to get a couple more of those, like the straighter ones, to come down in this manner. So I don't know exactly how it's going to be laid out, but what I do know is, oh, when I'm walking, you guys are really shaking around, huh? What I do know is I'm going to keep this right there. I did measure that out. Yeah. Believe it or not, I measured. And so we'll just go ahead and glue those down a little bit. What I'm using is this wood glue, and this Gorilla wood glue, and I don't really love it, to be honest. It's really clumpy and thick, and so I'm just going to squirt some out on a plate here. And I don't know if it's just because we've had it for a minute, but I still don't think it should get that clumpy. And I feel like I probably could add water to it and dilute it down a bit, but I don't really want to. Okay, so you know, guys all know that I do not. Oh, the color Caboose. Oh, hey Autumn. Hey Bree. So I am not a perfectionist at all, and I don't measure typically. But for this, I measured at least to get the center of this guy and the top guy. And then for the first few, the measurement from the bottom of this MDF up to that edge, so that it kind of looks all right. So I'm just going to do myself a little tick mark right there so that I know when I move this that that's the edge. And so, I mean, I want to be gentle. Be as gentle as you can with them. And then you just get the glue on. And one thing that I do not like to do is get too much glue on there, because if you do, it's just going to seep out of all these little peekaboo spots, and then it's just going to either look really bad if you don't clean it off. And then, because the overall objective is to make it look like it's carved in within, you know, the wood. And by doing this, I'm trying to create the illusion of the mirror being shaped in the center of the appliques. And then the area between the MDF and the appliques, I'm actually going to paint a color, a solid color, the same color that I'm going to paint this part here. And so that's how this is going to go. So it's going to take a few nights to complete. We'll work on it tomorrow. We'll actually put some paint on it after these are all dried. So after we go off camera, I will then come back in and finish the appliques and get them all prepared for tomorrow. So as you guys can see, I'm going real gentle towards the edges. So I definitely want to get all the way up to the edge of the mold and everywhere, but I do not want it to be thick in those areas at all. And I also like to kind of work as fast as I can, because gosh, I don't know why. I guess because I feel like the glue is drying, but it's not drying that fast. You know, the clay is as interesting to work with. It definitely depends on your environment. If you're working like in a really hot area, the clay will dry out faster. And so I do not like to leave my molds unglued down very much, because when I first started this out, I was really excited because appliques are quite spendy, the wooden ones, if you buy them. And I was so excited to find this method and create my own. And so what I did was I ended up making a whole bunch. Like I bought some of the really expensive paper clay and I like was dogpiling them. I was just like so excited to have this opportunity to make them. And so I made a whole bunch. And then when I went to use them later, later, days later, whatever, it was they were not I couldn't use them because they do dry. They're paper and they're clay, and it's just like wood. Like when it dries, it turns and it cracks and it does all that goodness. And so it had done that. They warped up and certain, they were just not usable. And so that's probably why I like to just I try to get the glue on as fast as I can. And sometimes they do crack because they are paper clay and they do crack, and that's okay. You just, either fill it in after it cracks with a little more clay, or just gob the paint in there. So I guess I said that because this little peekaboo area right here is cracked and it may break off. And if it does, I'm not worried about it. So I have my little tick mark here on the mirror with a little baby dab of glue. And then these are a little stiffer than not because I did them about an hour ago. And this here is just the cornstarch flaking off. So just flick it up here, even though it would not hurt if it was on there. Wouldn't hurt it, I don't believe. So which way did I have it? I think I had this pointing down. So I want to get it as close to the area that I want it to be in. And the reason is because when I move it around, then you're going to have glue mess everywhere. And it's just a pain to clean. I don't know if my head's going to block it, but I'm going to get in there for a little second. Okay, so I don't want the glue to get on the glass because it's just going to be a mess. And I don't like messes. So that's that. As much as I despise measuring because I'm an estimator, I'm going to measure this distance between here and here, and it's okay, so it's roughly 3 inches. And then again, I'll do it from here to here, and it just needs to come down half a little hair. So that's about 3 inches. This one's not about 3 inches. That's about 3 inches. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's good to go. And so once it's down there, I just want to gently push, 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 because like I said, it can twist like wood, and then it would be raised off the edge. And then right here, it has a little bit of a crack there, so you can either, since the clay is still wet, you can kind of just kind of try to join it together by softly mushing it together, or you can just fill it in later after it dries. So, this is all unique to everyone, and you can do what you want to do. Okay, yes, so we've been on for 23 minutes. I'll go ahead and do one more, and that'll be around 25 minutes. And I kind of like the way it's going up like that, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that. So again, yeah, flip it over. These are about the perfect consistency. So if you're going to be wrapping these around an edge, say you're doing it on a leg and you kind of want to wrap it around the leg, then you want to do it when they're wet so that they don't crack. So if I were to take this applique that I made like an hour ago, it's already stiff. See how stiff it is already? And so if I were, oh, you can't see. So it's already stiff. And so if I were to try to bend this around something, it would definitely crack. So you would want to do that when it's wet. Okay, you can still see me. Alrighty, so here we go. Again, you just want to make sure that the glue goes all the way out. And I feel like I put just about enough on that last one because I don't see any squishing out. And that is glorious because I typically always have some squishing out. Yeah, so I had a wonderful day today. Me and my middle daughter and son-in-law went yard selling, and we had a great day. They got their first home together, and they are getting stuff to move in. It was so funny. We went to this one yard sale, and it was a gal and a guy that owned 2 motels, and I was like, is this, everything was sold, it seemed like, but I was like, is this still available? And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, these guys just got their first home together, and blah, blah. And she's like, oh, really? What do you need? And she jumped out of her seat and was like running all around. And she was just super kind about the whole situation. And she's like, well, we own two hotels and we have a storage unit full of stuff. And so she took our names down and numbers, and she's going to get a hold of the kids to see if they need anything that she has in storage. So I thought that was super cool. And my score, so she did get a TV stand, and Colton got some golf clubs that he was tickled to death about. And then my score of the day was a rinse and vac for $25 at an estate sale, a really nice one. And we just got new carpet, so I'm pretty happy. So I did get a little squishness there, and it is cleanable, but it is not fun to clean. Okay. So guys, I am trying to stay in the 25-minute range. Okay, I'm just gonna hold you. 25-minute range for these lives, and I really, really appreciate you guys popping on. And my little honey says, finish dang autocorrect. Oh, yeah, me too, baby. Autocorrect is kind of crazy. So I just want to thank you guys for jumping on. I really appreciate your time. Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. If you guys have time and would like to subscribe to our channel, we would really appreciate it. And we're going to be here for the next out on 24 days of the 30-day challenge. So you guys chase that sunshine, whatever that means to you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.